Okay, hello, second graders. Today we are on our second half of the reteaching pages for topic 4. So we're going to be looking together at sets E through H. We're going to find that on page 245. So if you need to go ahead and get your books out, you can pause the video now. Let me show you my workspace here. You can see we're on reteaching, doing topic 4. Our page number is 245. And we're looking together at set E to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read this and you can follow along in your book. The directions say you can add more than 2-digit numbers. Add the ones in any order. Make a 10 to help. Then add the tens. Okay, so just quickly looking at the directions. At the beginning, they're just reminding us that we can add more than 2-digit numbers. We're being asked to add the ones in any order, make a 10 to help if we can, and then add the ones. Okay, so we're adding ones first, then we're making a 10 if we can, and then we're adding the tens. So here you can see they've taken away the structure of showing us the tens and the ones because you guys have had a lot of practice with that at this point. So I know that my ones is here, my tens are here, and if it's helpful for you to draw a line in between, you're certainly welcome to do that, okay? That helps you to organize your thinking. I'm going to start in the ones place, and it's encouraging me to make a 10 if I can. Let's take a look together. I see a few ways to make a 10. So I might choose to add 7 and 3 to begin with. If I take 7 and 3, I know that that gives me a 10, right? Our brains love adding with tens. I can take the other two, that 5 and 2, add those together, and that makes 7. And I know 10 plus 7 gives me 17. That's one way I could do it. I can't put 2 digits here in this space, so I'm going to need to regroup, right? I'm going to carry my 1 up to my tens place, put my 7 down below. That's 17 that I regrouped. So now I move to my tens place. In my tens place, I see 1 and 3, that gives me 4, and 2 and 2, which also gives me 4. 4 and 4 is a double, I know, that gives me 8. Okay, so my total sum is 87. Okay, so that's the process that you are going to be using when you look today at numbers 7 and 8. And again, if it's helpful, you can also draw a line going down in between those digits to separate the tens from the ones. You can even label tens and ones on top. Just leave a little bit of space in case you need to regroup, right? And I can do the same thing over here, tens and ones, and I have some space here in case I need to regroup. Okay, now you're all set up to solve for both of those. All right, let's go ahead then and take a look at set F. Set F encourages us to use partial sums to find 45 plus 7 plus 21 plus 13. Okay, so again, we're doing multiple add-ins here, more than 2. So for partial sums, as you know, I start in the tens place. So I'm looking at my tens and I say I have 4 tens plus 2 tens plus 1 10. So altogether, that's 40 plus 20, which gives me 60, plus 10 more, which gives me 70 altogether. So I'm going to write 70 for my tens, right? And once more, if you would like to have support by drawing out those base 10 blocks, then you're more than welcome to do that. There's space here, and the one you're going to do independently, there's space here. So, you know, don't be afraid to draw those base 10 blocks because they can be really helpful. So, for example, I could have drawn 4 tens plus 2 tens plus 1 10, and then I just count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I see I have 70 altogether. Okay. All right, now I'm going to look at my ones place. And again, they're encouraging us to look for compatible numbers to make a 10. Compatible just means that they go together to make tens. So notice they've started with 7 and 3 because 7 and 3 gave them 10, right? So I know that 7 and 3 is 10. And then left over, I have 5 and 1, which gives me 6. And look, 10 plus 6, yeah, you guys know that, right? 16. So for my ones, I'm going to put 16 here. Okay, so now I have 70, which I've already drawn here, plus 16. So let me go ahead and draw that. That would be 1 10 and 6 ones. So look like this. So now I can count on from 70. I had 70, 80, scoop up these 6, 86, right? So my total sum is 86. So if I go back to my original equation, 45 plus 7 plus 21 plus 13, I get a sum of 86. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, so that is the strategy that you are being asked to use for number 9. And again, I'm going to encourage you to draw those base 10 blocks as a visual to help yourself if you need, okay, or even to check your answer. It's really helpful. Okay, so that's number 9. Let's go ahead then and move ahead to our next set, set G. I'll read this story and you can follow in your book. It says 27 students are eating lunch. More students join them. Now 63 students are eating lunch. How many students join them? Okay, the directions ask us to write an equation. 27 plus something equals 63. And they want us to count on to find the missing add-in. Okay, so I'm just going to offer that a nice visual to have in a problem like this is a parts to whole chart. Why? Because I know the whole. I know how many are all together. You see here it says 27 students are eating. More students join. I don't know how many, but I do know that 63 students are eating lunch at the end. Now 63 students are eating. So I know the whole, 63. Okay. I also know how many students were eating at the beginning of the story, 27. What I don't know is how many more joined them. Okay, so this is a really nice visual to have to help you organize what it is that you're solving for and also what your operation is going to be. I know that I'm going to be subtracting because I have a missing part, right? I only add if I have a missing whole here at the top. All right, so here we go. They've written out the equation. Here, okay, well, let's start with this part. It says write an equation 27 plus something, right, plus a missing part equals 63. Count on to find the missing add-in. Okay, so they're starting at 27 and they added to that 30. So 27 plus 30 equals 57, right? 27, 37, 47, 57. I'm counting by tens and I had 3 tens and I got 57. Then they decided to make a 10, okay? So they put 57 plus 3 more and that gave them a 10 of 60. Okay, and then finally, we know that we need to get to 63. So they had 60, made that 10, and they had to add 3 more to get to 63. Okay, so now they're taking these add-ins and they're adding them. 30 plus 3 plus 3. And that gives us a sum of 36. Okay, so 27 plus 36 equals 63. Okay, so that's my missing part, is 36. All right, now notice that in number 10, they give you a parts to whole chart there, right? Again, that's a really nice way to help us organize our thinking. So how about we just at least set up what the parts to whole chart is? How about we do that work to kind of get you started? Our story says that Lana had 24 crayons. Then she gets some more crayons. Now she has 42 crayons. How many crayons does Lana have? Okay, so I know that she has 24. And then she gets some more, but we just don't know how many, right? And we know that she has, by the end, 42 crayons. So here's my question. Do we know the whole? How many she has altogether? We sure do. She has 42 altogether, right? So that would be the whole, 42. Do we know how many she had at the beginning of the story? We sure do. She had 24 at the beginning. What we don't know is how many more she had. This is the part that we're solving for. Okay, so one way that we can write that problem is 24 plus something equals 42. That is one way that we can write it. But there's another way. Look at this parts to whole. Can I write a subtraction problem from it? Yeah, I could. Whenever I subtract, I start with the biggest number, right? We know that. So 42 minus 24 is another way to think about it, right? And I'm solving for that difference there. Notice it's a related fact, right? So you could solve it this way. Maybe an open number line could help. Or you can line up your tens and ones. 42 minus 24. Could do it that way too. Line those tens and ones up, and you could use partial sums or regrouping. Okay, so there's different ways to solve for it, but this is the piece that you're looking for. Okay, all right, so hopefully that helps to kind of get you started. And then finally, we're going to take a look at set H. And here we're being asked to make a model and solve the problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the story first, number 11. It says students ride buses to the museum. 28 students ride in bus A. 27 students ride in bus B. How many students ride in both buses? Okay, so my important information is I know that there are 28 in bus A and there are 27 in bus B. And my question is, how many rode in both buses? So that tells me I'm going to be taking those two numbers and I'm going to be adding them. Those are going to be my add-ins. Okay, now our directions are asking us to make a model. So you can see right here in this bubble, they're reminding us some important things about models. It says thinking habits, model with math. Can I use a drawing, diagram, table, graph, or objects to show the problem? Can I write an equation to show the problem? Okay, so let's look at what we have here. Would an equation help us? I think it would, right? I know I have to take 28 and 27 and add those two together. So if I write my problem out this way, 28 plus 27, there's lots of strategies that we've used to solve for two-digit addition in our number spiral. Think about the strategies we have. We can break apart the numbers, right? We can use compensation. We can line them up from top to bottom and use partial sums or regrouping. There's many ways to solve. It's important for you at this point to start thinking about which way you're most comfortable with, which do you feel most successful with. We can model this with breaking apart. So if I break apart 28, I know I have 20 in my first bond and 8 in my second. And if I break apart 27, I have 20 in my first bond and 7 in my second. Now I'm going to look at my tens. I have 20 plus 20. Oh, my brain likes that, right? Adding with tens, 20 plus 20 gives me a sum of 40. And then for my ones, I have 8 plus 7. That's a near double, isn't it? I know 7 plus 7 gives me 14. So 7 plus 8 would give me 15. Yeah. And now I have 40 and 15 that I need to add. 40 plus 15. Okay, again, it helps to make a picture model. If mental math is still challenging, that's okay. You can make a picture model here. So I have 40, 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 15, 1 10 and 5 ones. Okay, and all, oops, 5 ones, sorry. And all together I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. A total of 55. Okay. All right, guys. So that completes our reteaching for topic 4. Tomorrow, well, you're going to go back right now and complete the ones that you have to do individually, but tomorrow we'll be taking our end of topic assessment, and then we'll be moving on to topic 5, which is really great. You guys are learning so much about how numbers work and getting some good math strategies in, so I'm really proud of all the progress you're making and how hard you're working. You guys need to be proud of yourselves too, okay? All right, guys, if any questions come up, you can always reach out. Other than that, I'll be talking to you very soon. Okay, have a great day. Bye.